When somebody's been actively generating deals, been marketing for a while, you tend to pick up a lot of leads, a lot of client information, a lot of phone numbers, different scenarios. How does somebody who's wholesaling or even fix and flipping, how do they keep track of it all? What would you suggest for somebody to build out and scale their business in that way, and not lose track of their information?
Yeah, what I would suggest is for everybody to get involved by using a CRM, customer relationship manager tool. Now, there's a lot of CRMs out there. We've tried a handful of them, and to be honest with you, a lot of them don't necessarily meet the requirements that you and I look for. So we want simplicity. We want to be able to either text your client out of there, to be able to call your client out of there, to be able to email your client out of there, to be able to take notes, how to be able to tag all the data that you input in there to know, hey, I've got data from Florida, I've got data from Montana, I got data from Arizona, and none of it commingles within itself because it's all tagged properly. It really just depends on the specific need that you're looking for. Again, every wholesaler that we deal with, they all have different strengths. Some people want to be on the phone. Some people don't want to text. Some people only want to receive mail out calls. They get nervous to pick up the phone and talk to somebody. So your CRM has to flow with the strengths that you have. So you got to be able to look out there. We don't advocate any one particular one. We do teach the ones that we use or have used to a lot of the students, but you got to find one that fits the needs that you want.
Yeah, so basically what you're saying is that the result that produces for you is really what you would say is the determining factor whether this is a good CRM for you or not.
If it works for somebody else and it doesn't work for you, God bless them. Really, at the end of the day, whatever makes you feel comfortable and happy to operate your business, that's what you want to use.
Yeah, that's important, because I could just want to make a quick note on that, Hernan, because oftentimes I get texts from wholesalers, people soliciting me for property that we own in different areas. The classic, do you want to sell it? Are you interested in a cash offer, etc.? And sometimes I'll respond, well, what are you offering? What is it that you have in mind?
Send me the address.
And I don't get a text back until like the end of the day, or sometimes a day after. And that tells me either you're overwhelmed or inexperienced, or you're losing track of all of the responses that you're getting. You're overwhelmed with trying to keep track of everything. And that tells me that you need to be more efficient, because the worst thing is that you invest money in marketing, you dedicate a lot of time, work, and effort and money in doing what you're doing. You get a good deal on the line and you miss it because it fell through the cracks.
So one of the things that we do, because you pitch out properties for us, but I do a big portion of that as well, is I like to get on the phone. Being able to have a CRM that records your conversations, so when you call out people, is fantastic, because sometimes you get so involved in the conversation that you might miss a detail or two. You can always go back and listen to the conversation. That's extremely important. The reason why I like to call out versus a text like you're talking about is because you can get to hear the tone of voice of the individual when you're offering the product, and right away in the beginning you're going to know whether they're interested or not. If there's a sense of enthusiasm, hey, what's the address, what's the details, it sounds like it should work. Again, you're calling somebody that already did a project or owns a project in that particular area. They're a buyer, they're a taker. And hey, an example here, you bought that property for $130,000. This one that I'm offering you is identical, and I'm offering it to you for $120 or $125. You're gonna, in the beginning, you're gonna give it to them for a little bit of a lesser price, because you want to build that relationship with them.
You want to make sure they make money on it as well.
Correct. And you want to know that next time you give them a call, they're gonna want to pick up the phone and talk to you. Being able to be on the phone with somebody is a great avenue to find out how interested they are, and to be able to have a CRM that can record your calls is great, because you can always go back and listen to it. It's a good learning technique.